Okay. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the City of Binghamton City Council Business Meeting for Wednesday, November 16th, 2022. Please stand for the pledge.
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty, and justice for all.
Thank you for that. Mr. Clerk, we take a roll call for us, please.
Councilman Scaringi. Councilman Scaringi.
Present.
Councilwoman Resnetti.
Present.
Councilwoman Riley.
Present.
Councilwoman Friedman.
Present.
Councilman Burns.
Present.
Councilman Scanlon.
Present.
And President Strong.
Present.
That's 7 here, 0 absent.
Thank you. I'll now ask for the approval of minutes. Councilwoman Resnetti.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to ask for the approval of minutes from the November 2nd, 2022 business meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thank you for that. We have no public hearings tonight, so we will now move right into our public comment section of our meeting. Mr. Clerk, you tell folks how they can participate this evening?
Yes, if you'd like to participate in public comment, please come on down to the chair right down here, and you'll have 5 minutes to speak. Please state your full name and if you live or work in the city of Binghamton. Thank you.
Is it on?
Yep.
Doesn't, okay.
So,
Joan Pertel, I live at 40 Riverside Street on the east side of Binghamton. And I'm speaking on behalf of my husband, Terry Pertel, who is a part-time laborer in the Parks Department. Recently, he learned that the city had received American Rescue Plan funds, and that a portion of those funds was going to be distributed to employees who worked during the COVID pandemic. He was told he should ask the union rep about it. So when he did, the union rep told him that he was not entitled to any of the money because he's not in the union. Well, Terry was a union member in good standing for many years until he retired. And after retired, he came back to work as a part-time employee in the Parks Department. And he cannot be a union member now because he's part-time. I find it hard to understand why money from the federal government, which is being given to workers who were considered essential workers during the COVID pandemic, would be distributed to union members only. Terry selflessly worked additional hours, further exposing himself to COVID, so the full-time workers would be able to perform their normal Parks Department responsibilities and not be taken away from those responsibilities to do the cleaning and the sanitizing that was mandated. And also on top of that, since non-union members always have received the same pay and the same benefits as union members, why wouldn't this also apply to the American Rescue Plan funds? What I'm asking is that the city council please ensure that non-union employees who worked during the pandemic also receive a share of the American Rescue Plan money. Thank you.
thank you.
course, the union is not gonna do it, right? Even though that's what they're supposed to do.
Okay, the clerk is informing me that there is no, has been no electronic communication received by the clerk's office today. Okay, seeing no one else in the room, thank you for coming down. We appreciate it. Very much. I guess we will move on to our legislative agenda this evening. Okay, we will move to our preferred agenda. Would anybody like anything removed from the preferred agenda? Okay, Mr. Clerk, will you walk us through the preferred agenda, please?
Yes, okay, so our first item on tonight's preferred agenda is introductory ordinance 22-160, considering the Employees Committee. And this is an ordinance to amend the 2022 sewer budget to defund a pump station helper and add a laborer.
Okay, any questions or comments on introductory ordinance 22-160? Okay, please proceed.
Next, we have introductory ordinance 22-161, considered in finance, and this is an ordinance to amend the 2022 Gulf Fund budget for various additional expenses.
Any questions or comments on introductory ordinance 22-161? Okay, please proceed.
Next, we have introductory ordinance 22-162, considered in the Employees Committee, and this is an ordinance to amend the 2022 DPW budget for overtime and general operating supplies.
Any questions or comments on introductory ordinance 22-162? Okay, please proceed.
Next, we have introductory ordinance 22-163, considered in the Finance Committee. And this is an ordinance to amend the 2022 fire budget to accept the New York State Healthcare Workers Bonus for personal services.
Questions or comments on introductory ordinance 22-163? Please proceed.
Next, we have introductory ordinance 22-165, considered in finance, and this is an ordinance to amend the 2022 Binghamton Johnson City Joint Sewage Treatment Facilities budget for state and federal emergency disaster assistance.
Questions or comments on introductory ordinance 22-165? Please proceed.
Next, we have introductory resolution 22-90, considered in the Finance Committee, and this is a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement number 1 with GHD Consulting Services Incorporated for construction administration services for the water filtration plant filter media project.
Questions or comments on introductory resolution 22-90? Please proceed.
Next, we have introductory resolution 22-91 in the Employees Committee, and this is a resolution approving an agreement between the City of Binghamton and the International Brotherhood of Teamsters Local 317, the Supervisors Unit, for 2023 through 2026.
Any questions or comments on introductory resolution 22-91? Please proceed.
Next, we have introductory resolution 22-92, considered in planning. And this is a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into contracts with various agencies for the use of FY48 CDBG and ESG funds.
Okay, any questions or comments on introductory resolution 22-92? Please proceed.
And the last item on tonight's preferred agenda is introductory resolution 22-93, considered in the Employees Committee. And this is a resolution approving an agreement between the City of Binghamton and the International Brotherhood of Teamsters Local 317, the Blue Collar Unit, for 2023 through 2026.
Any questions or comments on introductory resolution 22-93?
Motion to accept the preferred agenda, Mr. President.
Second.
Okay, you roll call for us, please.
Okay, Councilman Scaringi.
Aye.
Councilwoman Rusnetti,
Aye.
Councilwoman Riley,
Aye.
Councilwoman Friedman,
Aye.
Councilman Burns,
Aye.
Councilman Scanlon,
Aye.
President Strong.
Aye.
That's 7 ayes, 0 nays.
Okay, thank you for that. We have one item on our non-preferred agenda tonight, introductory ordinance 22-164, considered in finance. Councilman Scringy.
Thank you, Mr. President. I ask for unanimous consideration for introductory ordinance 22-164, an ordinance to amend the 2022 finance budget to increase the annual salary of the staff accountant to $60,000.
Second.
Any questions or comments on introductory ordinance 22-164?
Call the question, Mr. President.
Okay, thank you. Roll call, please.
Councilman Scaringi,
Aye.
Councilwoman Rusnetti,
Aye.
Councilwoman Riley,
Aye.
Councilwoman Friedman,
Aye.
Councilman Burns,
Aye.
Councilman Scanlon,
Aye.
and President Strong.
Aye.
That's 7 ayes, 0 nays.
Okay, thank you for that. Moving right along, we have our communications. And second to last month, we will start with District 4 and Councilmember Friedman.
Thank you, President Strawn. Wow, second to last meeting? That's true. Whoa. Let's see. I was fortunate enough to be able to attend the school board meeting yesterday, and it was quite something. There has the discussions about what to do with the results of the feasibility study have been happening for over a year now, months and months. And I don't envy the school board for that tough decision. And I know that, of course, they're just like we take our job seriously about thinking about, fiscal responsibility. I know that that's obviously a huge part of their job as well. But as a representative for the North Side, it is technically my job to advocate for my constituents on the North Side. And I know that Roosevelt School was on the chopping block for a school that was going to be closed. And right now the building is it's not up to snuff. There is asbestos in the walls because it was built in the 70s, and that was unfortunately a popular building material then. But what tends to happen, and what I think has happened on the North Side a lot, is this perpetuation of, oh, well, if we haven't invested in this project in a while, oh, that'll be the easiest one to nix. And I think that really does a disservice to the people on the North Side, a lot of who don't have cars, and who, it would be difficult for them for their children to get to school, if they miss the bus, or even for them to get to parent-teacher conferences or things like that. And it's easy to say, oh, we've invested millions of dollars in this new beautiful school building, so of course we would keep that open. And that makes sense. But, I worry that it's kind of a snowball effect, right? We disinvest in certain areas of the city, and therefore they become easy to kind of just cross off or disregard. And so I'm glad that I think it was unanimous on the school board that they decided. It was a little bit unclear to me, to be totally honest with you, but it seemed to be unanimous that Roosevelt School would not be closed. And I think that's a huge success and victory for the North Side. Of course, nobody wants the elementary school on their side of the city to close. Of course not. But I think that the North Side is often forgotten about, and Roosevelt School really is a community center and such an asset to the North Side. So I was heartened to see that come out of the school board meeting. Besides that, I don't think I have any announcements. It is Thanksgiving soon. I don't think we don't have, yeah. Oh, there is something, sorry. Oh, I thought Councilwoman Riley was laughing at me. I wanted to let everyone know that from 12 to 1:30 on Wednesday, November 23rd, there's going to be a turkey takeout at the Lee Barta Center. So that's the day before Thanksgiving. Again, that's 12 to 1:30 at the Lee Barta Center. I'm sure you can contact them with more information. And see y'all in December. Thanks. So sorry. We have what? Not December. November 28th. I'll be there. Okay, thank you.
Okay, good to know. We will now go to District 5 and Councilman Burns.
Thank you, Mr. President. Nothing much to report. I too am happy that none of the schools were closed. The elementary schools. So a lot of parents are relieved all over the city. So that's very good. Also, I'd like anyone listening that if you want to get involved with the redistricting, please do. And you can contact me if you want to talk to me about it at jburns@cityofbinghamton.com. And I'd like to congratulate Sharon Sorkin. What, is this your last meeting? Sharon Sorkin is from our Corporation Counsel office, and she helped me a great deal and helps me a great deal every meeting. I think losing her is sort of like having a library burned down or something, you know. It's she's full of information that no one else knows. Not that Brian doesn't have all the information, but she's been here so long that I never had her say she didn't know the answer. So anyway, congratulations. She's going to the State Division of Human Rights as a judge. And I am impressed, and they're very lucky to get her. So thank you.
Thank you. We'll now go to District 7, Councilman Scanlon.
Thank you, Mr. President. I concur with Councilman Burns. Sharon's been a great asset for the city. We're going to miss her. Their gate is our loss, obviously, but I'm very happy she's moving on to a different position. So congratulations on that. I concur 100% with Joan Pertel, who spoke on behalf of her husband, Terry. I can't imagine there's too many people in the situation as Terry is. I'm calling on the mayor's office to get involved and find a way to pay Terry the COVID money because he deserves it and he worked those hours like everybody else. So I will keep you informed. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll now go to District 1, First Ward, Councilman Scringy.
Thank you, Mr. President. Want to thank the amazing job the DPW did just over the last 2 days with respect to getting out and repairing potholes throughout the city. I'm sure you've probably seen literally just over the last 48 hours quite a new bunch of filled potholes. So much so to the fact that our guys and gals in the DPW, they were actually literally getting to places within hours notice. So I really want to thank them for in the First Ward, on the West Side, and throughout the entire city for all the push that they've been getting out just over the last 48 hours as the asphalt plants are closing on Friday. They were even organized even within this, whether even getting hot patch out there to make sure that those things are filled, especially with the colder weather coming up. So I really want to thank them for that. Sharon. You are one of the smartest people I know. Um, which a threshold is me, that's pretty easy. So I don't even know if that's saying much, but you have shouldered more than your share here and your time here. For those who don't know, Sharon simultaneously acted as one of the main mechanisms in our corporation council, our city attorney's office, and ran personnel all at the same time. Every person in this building has functional value, and you're up there times 10. You've got a hard work ethic, and you are an incredible person. You are humble, and you will be missed. I know when I started here back in 16, you were definitely, I don't know if it's the New York thing or what, but you are one of the first people that I had long conversations with, and coming on lunch hours here and even staying after with you to 5, learning how to navigate these 5 floors. And you were right there from ground zero. So mazel tov. And you will be missed, but you deserve this. Very proud of you. Congratulations. And to everyone watching, happy Thanksgiving to you and your families. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll now go to District 2 and Councilman Resonetti.
Thank you very much. I also wanted to say that I'm so happy to hear that all of the schools will remain open right now. I've had many conversations with residents, and so many families obviously purchased their homes and moved into a community or a neighborhood because of the schools. So I'm glad to see that at least for now, there will be no major changes to that. I did want to, so alternate parking, I've gotten a couple of questions, and I know that we will be meeting again before that begins, which is December 1st, but I wanted to put it out there for folks who are really unsure and have been contacting me asking if that already started, especially because we got a little bit of snow. So that will be December 1st, just a reminder. The other thing, well, there's Thanksgiving coming up, and I just want us to all be mindful of our blessings and how many things we have to be so thankful for, even in challenging times. And not everybody has, I guess, what we would call some of those blessings. And so I encourage you all to be mindful and aware of any drives or any opportunities to donate to families, individuals who may need some help and support as Thanksgiving is approaching and other holidays. And lastly, of course, I want to come to you. I am so grateful to have met you and to have worked with you. You are really, we talk about an attorney, a counselor, you really have been that. You worn that hat with me, certainly from the very beginning, from the normal newness and challenges to many other unexpected challenges that came my way. You are one of the smartest people I know, and you will be missed tremendously. I wish you nothing but the best. And I do hope that you keep in touch with all of us and let us know about the wonderful things that you're doing. And with that, good night.
Thank you. We'll go to, and I'll go to District 3 and Councilwoman Riley.
Thank you, Council President. So I'll start by saying congratulations to Sharon. It has been an interesting time, but I wish you much success in your future. And we will still have our deviled egg competition with your husband there, rooting us on. So please, and I owe him a bike ride too, so you can't go too far. I would like to say, I I thank the Patels for coming because that a lot of people don't use this venue to verbalize their concerns. And that's what we always share with our neighbors and colleagues, our constituents. Come to us and let us know how we can help so we collectively can advocate for the people. And it's not easy. You know, you have all these eyes judging you. And but I want to thank you for coming so that we are aware and we can build bridges to make sure we work this out. I also want to alert everyone, as you know, I send a lot of resources and people that ask for assistance in the 3rd district to NOMA. NOMA is the community center on Walnut Street is shut down for a few days due to a plumbing issue. But prior to the plumbing issue, Tom and Roseanne Norris donated several carbon monoxide detectors in memory of their son, Lee Thomas Norris, who died of carbon monoxide. And that is really, really, again, we get donations all the time, but people don't think about the things that affect us so greatly and how we can just lend a hand to our neighbors, similar to what Councilwoman Rosaniti said. So I wanted to not only shout out the Norris family in memory of their son, but also the thousands of others that bring donations. There was also a Haddon co-drive that was overwhelming. So as we learn about those that are unhoused and tools that they may need to remain warm wherever they are, just know that we have sent things and you can continue to send things to the NOMA Center on Walnut Street. It is Thanksgiving and Thanksgiving is coming up, and being that one of the greatest high schools in the world is located in the 3rd district, I'd like to highlight that they're having in-person community dinner. Now, typically, those of you that have had children or have just been here some time, you know, this is the time for our seniors, our juniors to start giving back and serving. But in the past few years, they were unable to serve because of COVID, and they were doing door to door. They were boxing it and then passing it out. So they will be back in person on Thursday, November 24th from 11 to 2 p.m. So that's really exciting, not only for those that are coming for the meal, but for our youth that get to serve, you know, because they can be, yeah, the one in my house can be. So I like those opportunities. And finally, I told you I had a lot, so I had to make sure I highlighted everything. This week is Transgender Awareness Week. And for those that don't know, this is our time to honor and celebrate those, uplift those, and share positive stories of those that live in our community that we may not even be aware are living as trans members of our community. As you know, there's a lot of anti-trans rhetoric and legislation, and particularly abuse and killing of the trans community members. And we have the power to not only increase awareness, but prevent future harm to those that we love. As you all may remember, Stonewall in 1969, everyone talks about it. It was where the LGBTQIA+ movement started. And if you remember, 2 of the women that were at the forefront, Marsha P. Johnson and Sylvia Rivera, were there. They were women and they were trans women. So this is very important. I want to make sure I always highlight awareness weeks as they come to, as we recognize them. And this one particularly because, again, we've had over 32 fatally killed this year. And I say over because when trans members are killed, it's not reported as a hate crime. It's not reported accurately at all. So the data I'm reporting may be skewed. So I wanted to take some time to use my platform to, again, share with you guys that this is Transgender Awareness Week. And on Saturday is the Day of Remembrance. So that is important. And again, thank you all for being here. We will see you back on the 28th after the holiday. That concludes my report.
Thank you very much. Go ahead.
Yes, I forgot. So like everyone has already said about the school districts, I want to shout out the parents in that building last night. It was so crowded, and the enthusiasm, the fervor about what they fundamentally believed. And it wasn't about save my school. It was about save all schools. And I mean, we had little kids in there. I think we left about 10 p.m. and they were only halfway through the agenda, but they were that invested in the process. And what one of the members said was that, we're glad to see you here, but blame the city. You blame your taxes, talk to your council. So then I said, okay, well, you're right. You know, we work together to ensure our community is maintained at the highest level we can, as we desire. But we should work closely with the school board. And when they do have questions and concerns, we should have those open conversations. But again, kudos to the parents, the students, and the staff that hung out last night and have endured through this entire process. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Just a couple things, mostly quick, probably parroting or agreeing with my colleagues, but it's important, so I'll just go through it real quick. Thank you for coming down tonight. I do want to look into that as well. Not an excuse, but even in my employment, some of these things are dictated, even legislation that we passed tonight, a healthcare bonus is dictated by the state. So some of these things are statutory and some of them are dictated and the rules become tight. So I think it's a good time for us to step back and say who got what for what reason as a whole, and is there any gaps that we might be able to fill just from the city, just to be fair, because sometimes things are done not on purpose, but there are rules and things that you have to do in certain ways, and sometimes things fall through the cracks. So I want to get more information on that to see what we can do for somebody like yourself that might not have got that. And I don't think it was done on purpose, but sometimes we might say, man, through all these different statutory things, 75% of our people got something. Why can't we help the rest in our own way from our own resources? So I definitely want to look at that. I want to speak for the mayor's office, but we will definitely look into that a lot further. The school thing real quick. I'm happy for the outcome, and I'm glad to see the community participation, as Councilman Riley said. And I do think one thing, we have some things that we're going to work on with ARPA funds with the school. So I'm excited to see that develop. And I also think that some of the housing and code issues and things that we deal with feed into keeping our neighborhoods strong. So we have families living in all these areas, and because the school does need to, steward their resources wisely. But I'm glad for right now that they made what I believe is the right decision. And hopefully we can keep these neighborhoods strong so that those schools can stay open for a very long time. So I'm happy about that. And then I just wanted to wish Sharon well wishes as well. Obviously she does a great job for the city as a whole. Unbelievable to keep these things in order, but specifically from my perspective, it's a special skill to patiently answer questions of a legal nature to make the person asking the question don't feel like it was a dumb question, but to answer in a way that they understand. And that's a special skill, to be patient to do that and not feel like you're talking down to somebody, which is easy to do sometimes, not on purpose, but just the detailed nature of some of the things. It can make it sound like I know everything and you don't, and but you don't do that. It's when we were new, that really is helpful. Because some things probably can come across as, well, that's no such thing as a dumb question. Well, sometimes there is, but you answer it patiently anyway. So thank you for that. Thank you for serving us, and we wish you well. We really do. So definitely a big loss for us, but it's great for you to move on and to help where it's needed as well. So appreciate that. With that, happy Thanksgiving to everyone. And I don't think it's officially scheduled, but we are planning on having an MPA meeting about the redistricting process on November 28th. So please look out for details on that. And with that, I'll take a motion to adjourn our meeting.
So moved.
Second,
Thank you, everyone.
motion to make Sharon's day.